Okay, hi all. I've provided some information on Blackboard for you. This is a session plan that's there that outlines what I think you want to be trying to achieve over the next few weeks as we move and transition this brief to something you can do at a distance and obviously without making the garment as well. So you can see there's the updated brief of summative assessment there as well, and some indications of some suitable resources. What I've also placed on Blackboard is feedback to all of you. So these are your initial designs that you've decided upon, the diffusion ranges that you've proposed, and these are now all on Blackboard. They have been for a week, and at the bottom of each of these pages you'll see there's some considerations, so questions you need to start to think about with regard to these garments. So what I'd like you to do with these is to take these and individually think about addressing the questions that are on each of them, and then if you can send me those back by email, then I can put them out to the GTA students and they can look to feed back to you. So the other thing that is on Blackboard as well is copies of these quarter scale blocks, so you can start to think about how you undertake pattern manipulation as well, and how you might arrive at your chosen designs, which are displayed here. Now I appreciate you can't actually make the garments, and because you can't make the garments, what's important now is that you start to think about analysing existing garments. So I have a few samples of children's garments because the scale's a little easier to work with here. But you can take these garments and look at how they're made and look at the types of finishes that are used. So how's the edge been finished on this? What stitch has been used? What stitch type? What finish? And is this appropriate for the type of garment you're thinking of making? Have a look at the type of fabric. So this is made out of a knitted stretchy fabric. Is it similar to the type of fabric you propose? Is this finish correct? So you can see hopefully on it what type of finish has been used, and you can analyze the garments you've got and say, well actually, you know, is this the type of finish I would use? And then you can look further down at how flare's been produced on this dress. So you can see it's a 6-gore skirt, so it's got this central panel here and then a side panel here. The side seams still exist in this, and similar stylings on the back. So to create the fullness here, they've created what sometimes is referred to as a sort of 6-panel or 6-gore skirt, where they're looking at creating shape through that. And then there are other garments you can start to look at. So this is a skirt similar to some that you've proposed in your designs, and you can see how this is joined in here. Okay, and then you can see how the waistband's been finished, and you can see it needs a point of closure on the side, and then it has this stitching detail around the waist to provide elastication. So with shearing elastic, and you can see how it's gathered the edge up, but when you pull it out you'll be able to see that it would be the full width of the skirt itself. And then similarly, how are the edges finished here? Is it appropriate? Have a look at the weight. This is quite a lightweight denim looking fabric. Okay, is this the type of weight you'll be using? Is this the type of finish that you'll have on the edges? So by analysing existing garments, here's another example of a skirt with a lot of fullness on it. You can see it's been pleated in at the waistband. Will you be doing that to move the fullness of the skirt out to feed into a structured waistband like this? And then look at how this has been attached. So you can see it's been stitched on, and look at how it's been finished. So you can see the overlocking here, and then you can see the stitching along this edge here and how that works. You can see this is a child's garment again, so it has elastication in the back. Maybe this is the type of thing you're thinking about. Have a look at the weight of this fabric. Again, it's not too heavy weight. It's quite a lightweight printed cotton. And, you know, is this the type of finish you could use? Similarly, here's another garment you can look at. So this garment here, set on pockets, it's quite, again, lightweight. I think it must be viscose because of how it behaves. You can see, how is the hem finished? What about the weight of the garment? What about how it's finished at the waistband and how they make it so that somebody can get into it and out of it? And again, it's got elastication in a certain part of it, elasticated differently from the other garment. It's got what appears to be a grown-on waistband. It has a yoke here as well, but the waistband itself is a continuation of the main part of the garment, and then it's stitched on here with some elastication in it. Another garment you can look at here So you have a skirt, you can see it's pleated in or gathered in along the waistline here. You can see again how the hem is finished. So this has been overlocked and then stitched down. And you'll need to start to think about what can you tell from existing garments. Another one again. So quite a bit of fullness in the skirt of this dress here. Look at how the hem's been finished. It's lined, so it's probably slightly more expensive. It's the type of garment you might be paring down a bit for your diffusion. Look at how the waist's been finished. What about the weight of the garment? And then another dress here, the final one I'll show you. Again, this has a couple of layers of different fabric here. Look at how this has been attached. So you can, through the analysis of existing garments, start to make decisions about how you might make your garments that you've proposed more commercially viable. So because you don't have the opportunity to make them, you can start to think, how would I go about them?